Hello everyone. I know I said that the next video is probably going to be me in London, but I've just thought I would make a quick video regarding tickets and things like that when going to Universal for a holiday or a vacation, as some of you call it. And I'm going to just give you a quick overview on how everything could be done and some tips and I don't know if you would call it tricks, but just some general information that should help everybody out. So we're going to start off on the Universal website itself. Before we get into any of this, I want to say that you should never, well not never, but I don't recommend you buying tickets at the gates. There's a few problems with this, in my opinion. Is waiting in that queue to buy your ticket can be the longest queue you will wait in for your entire holiday. On the first few occasions I went, I waited in that queue, and I was in that queue for, again, around an hour, sometimes longer depending on the day and depending on how early you get there. So I would always recommend buy them online. They give you a code, you put the code in the will call machine, you put your card in, and it prints within seconds, and you can walk straight in, straight past all these poor people in 40-degree heat, waiting in the sun. It's just not worth it. Trust me, it's the worst way to start your day. You're going to be hot, you're going to be in a bad mood. It's just not worth it. Right, so I have three options for everybody, or most people. We're going to assume you're not staying on site, you are staying in the Orlando area, you know, you want to go to all the parks, blah blah blah, okay? So we are going to start off on their website with packages tickets, where you would normally go to buy your tickets, or most people would go to buy their tickets, theme park tickets, okay? So this is Universal's actual website. You have multi-day tickets, single day, Volcano Bay, okay? You can do a single day. These single days do cover all three parks, so you can do all three parks in one day if you're feeling very confident, but on most occasions this isn't possible. I mean, you can definitely do the parks, like one park each in half a day, but in a single day you're just not going to enjoy it. It's going to be too much running around, you're going to miss a lot of the big rides, and again, depending on how busy the day is, you might not be able to get on many rides at all. So I would always stay away from single day unless that's the only choice you have. You're only there for one day, okay? Right, so we're going to look at multi-day tickets. On this page, we're going to base it around 3 days. Okay, 3 days gives you 3 parks, a day in each park without any rush. 2 options. Don't bother about this third option. This is 3 park, 4 days. We're not going to worry about that too much. I have some better options, so we're going to ignore that for now. So we have 2 parks, 3 days. If you're not bothered about water parks, you don't want to go to Volcano Bay, this is the one you're going to be looking at. You do have the option to go to 1 park per day, which is a very good option if you aren't bothered about the Hogwarts Express, because you won't be able to use that as you're only allowed in 1 park per day. But you will be saving $50, or around $50, which is a lot, really, in theme park ticket wise. So that is a lot of money to save, so I would definitely consider it. But again, I've got options that are much better. This is going to cover you for 3 days for 2 parks. So you might not need 3 days for 2 parks unless you want to go back and ride something else. 3 days is the best for all 3 parks. If you're just going for 2 parks, you're not bothered about the amount of time you're there, you just want to do them, get them done, sort of thing, you might be better with a 2-day 2 park ticket. Which again, the price isn't going to be dramatically different. So this will just give you a bit of extra time to not rush around, go do things you want to do. You can come back the 3rd day and redo things you want to do. But if you do want to go to Volcano Bay, they do have this option as well. It just depends, but it does limit you. Say you finish up in 1 park and you want to go over to the other one, you can't do that. So it might be better just to have the option. I don't know, $50 if there's a family of 5 of you, that's a lot of money, it adds up. So I would definitely just consider it. This next option is a bit more drastic. You might think, or you might have never even considered this because it probably in your head is very expensive, but it's not. So let's have a look. This is attractionticketsdirect.co.uk. I'll put the link in the description. Keep in mind, if we're basing this off a 3-park 3-day ticket, which we are, this is your best option. On the Universal site itself, we're looking at $315 for that ticket, plus your 6% tax or whatever. If you come over to this website, this is the same thing, 3 parks, but it's for 2 weeks. So you can go every single day for 2 weeks. Okay, and it's £239. So that you're paying an extra $30, and you can go for the entire 2 weeks. So this, in my opinion, is probably one of the best options, depending on the time of year you go. I do have a third option that, in my opinion, is a better option if you go at certain times of the year, which we'll talk about. But this is something that a lot of people overlook. So we're going to go to the final and third option, which might sound crazy to a lot of people, but an annual pass. Okay? Now, I know what a lot of people think. I'm only going once. Why would I want an annual pass? It's a waste of money. It's so expensive. Now, just hear me out, okay? Let's have a look at how much it costs for an annual pass. Here are the prices for a 2-park annual pass. Now, you might notice that the price for a seasonal pass is $284 or $85. Now, that's cheaper than a 3-day pass. Okay? So a lot of people are going to these parks and paying over $300 for 3 days. You can buy an annual pass for cheaper. You can get in for 2 weeks. This is even cheaper than the option for the 2-week pass. So this is probably your best option, depending on the time of year, because it does have blockout dates, which we'll look at in 2 seconds. But there is also a 3-park pass, which includes Volcano Bay, which is more expensive. It is around $400. So if you just want to go to Volcano Bay and you are just going for the 2 weeks and you're never coming back, you definitely want to be buying this, because this is your cheaper option. But if you're just going for the 2 parks, you don't like water parks, or you're not too bothered about it, this is a much cheaper option, and it also opens up the possibility to go back if you live in the States another time of the year, and things like that. So we'll look at the blockout dates. They're not as drastic as you may think they would be for such a cheap price. So this is 2 parks, 2-park pass, so we're ignoring Volcano Bay over this side. So your blockout dates are what you would expect. You've got 10 days during Christmas, New Year's, basically. You've got select dates through February and March, because that's when Mardi Gras is on. But they're only single days during concerts. So whenever there's a band playing or a singer singing, you can't go in studios. You can go in Islands of Adventure, you just can't go in studios. So that's something to look out for. But again, it's not a huge deal if you're going during those times, because like I said, it's just select dates. March, you've got around 7-8 days. April, again, you've got around 6 or so days. And then you've got all of July, which I wouldn't recommend ever going in July anyway. It's way too hot. The parks are way too crowded. So the blockout dates, and again, over at Islands of Adventure, it's the same, just minus the Mardi Gras dates in March and Feb. With this seasonal pass, it not only just gets you in the park, it gets you a lot of other benefits as well. So here's the benefits. So we're just looking at seasonal pass. So the seasonal pass doesn't get you a lot, granted, but it does get you a few things. Again, it gets you into things like Mardi Gras and Christmas. You can't see the concerts, but you can go and do the other Mardi Gras stuff when a concert date isn't on. So you can go watch the parade, you can take part in the Mardi Gras activities. You also have discounts on Halloween Horror Nights tickets and things like that. You can get 10% off other tickets you buy for other people in your party. Definitely something to look into. Overall, here's your first option that most people go with. Your second option, where if you're going to Volcano Bay and you want to go to Volcano Bay, is your best option, where you can go for 2 weeks for $30 more instead of 3 days. So it depends if you want to spend that $30, and it depends if you think you're going to be going maybe one more time. If you're going to go one more time, or you want to go one more time, it's worth the $30 in my opinion. And then there's the last option, which is an annual pass. and the annual passes are the cheapest option, which is strange. But if you are going at the right time of year, which again, look at the blackout dates, I will link it in the description, you plan on going for 2 weeks, that is the best option, period. If you're going to all 3 parks and you're only going for 2 weeks and you never plan on coming back, get the 2-week pass. If you have any other suggestions, or anybody else has got any other tips on places to go, definitely leave them in the comments. I mean, I'd even be interested to read some of other people's tips, as again, I'm somebody that visits these parks a lot. Thank you all for watching. Like I say, leave any suggestions or anything in the comments below, and I will catch you all soon on another video that's probably going to be around the same sort of thing, but with Disney, which is a lot more expensive. Just a pre-warning, guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.